in the cradle of eagles, where bold dreams take flight. We forge a great nation beneath freedom's light. From ocean to ocean, our promise stood tall, yet shadows encroach, casting doubt on us all. The rights we cherish now fading from view. Awaken, dear patriots, the hour calls to you. Oh, America, ignite the freedoms we lost, reclaim them with valor, no matter the cost. Rise as one people, courage of the light, dispel every darkness, embrace the bright. Hearts forged in unity, banners held high. We restore our legacy under the sky. The echoes of founder through corridors ring, yet bonds of division our harmony sting. Speech once unfettered, now muffled and chained, just as uneven our ideals restrained. From heartland to harbors, the spirit revives to heal what is fractured, where true freedom thrives. Oh, America, ignite the freedoms we've lost, reclaim them with valor, no matter the cost. Rise as one people, with courage of the light, dispel every darkness, embrace the bright. Hearts forged in unity, banners held high. We restore our legacy under the sky. In the fire of forebears who challenge the storm, we summon our power, in resolve we transform. No yielding to shadow or tyrannous night. The dawn of tomorrow demands that we fight. From every horizon, let clarion call sound. Rebuild on foundations eternally bound. Oh, America, ignite the freedoms we've lost, reclaim them with valor, no matter the cost. Rise as one people, with courage of the light, dispel every darkness, embrace the bright. Hearts forged in unity, banners held high, secure our tomorrow. Let liberty fly.
stand for corruption. We won't stand for stealing kids. This is the Tiff and the Punisher podcast, now joined by the angry citizen. This is a powerful trio, set out to spread the Constitution. This is a powerful trio, set out to stop the evil CPS.
We won't stand for corruption, and we won't stand for stealing kids. This is the Tiff and the Punisher podcast, now joined by the angry citizen.
What's up, guys?
Darren, my man.
Dana, the man from Maine.
Shooting wasn't complete, so I got the.
What's up, Tiff?
And guess what?
It's going to be a long night over at this camp, but I'm glad Dana's on tonight because we missed
Thank
him.
Yeah, Dana, you've been gone for so long.
I know. We were starting to wonder what happened to you, if you were okay.
I'm okay. I mean, I've been going through a lot personally, and I've just been really frustrated and discouraged at the general overall apathy and ignorance going on in the country. You know, the fact that we're just watching our republic disintegrating right in front of us, and a vast majority of our countrymen are just very content to watch it happen. They're not going to lift a finger to do anything about it, and it's discouraging. And I really thought Angry Citizen would take off, but it's gone nowhere, and it's fallen flat. And I don't know. I'm just trying to kind of regroup, I guess. But
Dana, it takes time, man. And I know you've been at this for a long time.
I have.
You know what? The followers that you have, dude, are worth their weight in gold. Because you know what? You could have 20,000 followers. You don't know their names. It's just this or that. You don't even know if they listen. But you know the number of followers that you do have. They listen. You know their names. You know their stories. And that's worth its weight in gold, man. People's lives that you're changing, whether it's only one or two, at least you know you're changing them. You know what I mean?
Thanks, bro. I'll take that.
If you had 20,000, you don't know if they're just throwing it on there, just saying, hey, whatever. But you know that the people that are watching you and listening to you are watching you and listening to you. And that's huge, man. That's I will take that any day of the week. You know, like Dave Waggle is sitting there bashing on us because we only have so many followers. I don't give a shit, man. You know what? I know that the followers that we have are true followers. They miss you when you're gone. They wonder where Tiff is. They wonder what the hell's going on with me. Like these people that we have are genuine. They're genuine. They're genuine followers. You know, they're not just label makers. So don't push that on yourself, like, wanting to get widespread all of a sudden, because you know what? You're changing lives. You're definitely changing lives. And there are people listening to you. And those are the ones that really are going to take something about what you say and apply it, you know, because 20,000 of them might not listen to a fucking word you say. And then you get nothing done other than say, yeah, I got a thing from YouTube saying I got 150,000, blah, blah, blah. But you could have one that says I got 5 or 10 or 20 or 50 or 100. And you know that every one of those people listened to every word that you said, and they're applying it to their lives and to their people in their town, man. So don't get discouraged like that, man.
All right, I won't. Thanks. No,
Your little pep talk, Darren.
Legit points. I mean, I fully concede everything you said is true, and I have gotten this before where someone reaches out to me and says, "Listen, you know, I heard something you said, or you know, or something you said helped me, was able to, you know, give me advice, information, whatever." So, you know, and obviously I'm still here. I mean, I'm still at it. I'm not just going to sit and watch it happen and not do anything. And at the end of the day, if the Republic fails, it will not be because I sat on my ass and didn't do anything. So,
yeah. Well, people need to realize that our man Trump has done the work. It's up to us now to take it the rest of the way. And I don't understand why people don't realize this. Like, we still have to do stuff. It's not going to be done for us. There are things that we need to do as citizens, you know,
yes.
and we're not doing that. People aren't listening to that. They're not writing letters. They're not doing what they should be doing. He's handed us it. He said, here you go. Here's the Republic. I've taken this as far as I can go. It's up to you people now to handle this. And it's not happening.
Yeah. True.
You know, what is the one thing that you're seeing that you are like, what the fuck, America?
I mean, actions of our government, like dropping bombs in foreign nations, whether you dislike a foreign nation or not, whether the foreign nation is doing bad things or not, you know, we have a very specific structure, and our Constitution is very clear. We cannot do things like that without a declaration of war. I mean, you know, we can't invade a foreign nation without a declaration of war, but that's what we're doing, and now it's become normal. Like, now we do whatever we want. We send troops wherever we want, drop bombs on whoever we want, and they call it a military action. And, you know, you may or may not agree with whatever the premise is, but at the end of the day, we have to agree that the process is absolute. It's carved in stone, man, a declaration of war. But most people just, you know, they go right along with it. If it suits their purpose, if, you know, there's always another bad guy that needs to be taken out, and, you know, and you got to keep in mind, we're not dropping bombs on the people that make the decisions. You know, we're dropping bombs on the poor schmucks that get stuck in the bunker, or stuck in the building that we bomb. Who, you know, they didn't do anything wrong. They're the ones that are dying or getting blown to bits.
We did blow up the president of Iran.
Yeah, I know.
We did get him. So we can't say all of them are the schmucks that are in the bunkers. We did.
But without a declaration of war, we can't be doing that. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I know, but you said that we weren't blowing up the people that are making the decisions. So we did get him.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I don't disagree with you, but I'm just saying we did.
How many people did we kill in Iraq? How many innocent Iraqis were killed?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. 100,000 plus?
Right, but Iraq was declared war, right?
No. That's my whole point. There was no declaration of war. And plus, most of what we have been told about what was happening in Iraq and what Saddam Hussein was wrong. You won't see that on the news. You got to dig.
Oh, that goes way back to the Bush cartel and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I'm just saying, we have now decided as a nation, we've decided this is okay. We're just going to do it.
No,
there's no going back. There is no going back. So, and the next thing we're going to see is martial law. They're gearing up for that right now. They're spying on us. They're setting up cameras everywhere. You know, they're going to just do whatever they want to do. And our Constitution is just being shredded. And that makes me very angry.
I want to stop this for a second because I want to say Rochelle's here, Billy's here, Henry's here, Amanda's here, Eric is in the house.
How come I can't comment in the chat, bro? Did you shut me off? Do you hate me?
You should be able to. You can't.
Is it? I can't. There's no. Won't let me.
Well, see, now they're
infiltrating. On chat. There's nothing there for me. Is it because you hate me? Is that why?
Yeah, because you haven't been here for so many days. We take away your.
I knew it. Damn it.
No, want to chat for you, Dana.
Yeah, you can't really. You really can't. If you press the little chat thing, you can't. You can't answer.
I press the chat thing and it pops up, but there's nowhere I can type anything in.
Weird.
So
That's
yeah, I
very
don't know. You can worry about it later. But hello, everyone. I would type to you, but I can't. But good to see y'all. Appreciate
Are
you.
you sure it's not? Because sometimes it hides underneath my screen too. Like I can't see it. Are you sure you can't see it? It's not deep down underneath there? Like your screen's messed up or offset? Because sometimes it hides under my thing too. And I'm like, wait a minute, where did it go? I think I shut myself off and I didn't. That's
Nope.
really good, man.
So I don't mean to cut y'all off, but Darren, look what Cairo just found me.
Oh Lord.
I got two of them.
Oh my God.
And you have one.
That's a riot.
Nice.
That is a riot. Holy smokes.
So I got to tell you why he's laughing. I have this tooth that's loose in my mouth. And
I wasn't going to say anything.
Well, it doesn't matter. In the middle of the night, part of it came out of the socket. So I'm like, I'm out here looking for a pair of pliers because I can't pull this bitch.
Damn.
It's back upright. So it doesn't bother me. But I was looking for these until 2:30 this morning.
2:30? 2:30?
2:30.
2:30? Oh, one and only Karma's in the house too. Perfect. See, Dana, look at all these people are here and they're listening to you. And I don't know if you guys know this, but you know Dana has his own thing that he does, right? Dana, what is it?
Talking about my Angry Citizen live streams?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I haven't done one in a while now, but
well, maybe you should start. You can't get listeners.
I do from time to time. Well, I'll tell you what happens, and this is a good opportunity to talk about this particular phenomenon. You know, a lot of my allies are not like you, Darren. They're not very diligent. They don't get back to me. You know, I did a couple interviews with some people that are running for governor of California. One's this guy, his name is David Serpa. The other one's a guy named Daniel Mercury, and both of these guys are running against all odds. You know, they're independents. They're not in the party system. We always get they can't win, which is false. It's a false paradigm. Anyone can win. All we have to do is vote for them. I mean, that's the bottom line. And both of these guys are people that, like I said, I interviewed them, and I've reached out to both of them within the last few weeks or so, and tried to just get in touch with them to help them out with this. And you know, I don't hear back from them. This happens to me a lot. I reach out to people, I do not hear back from them. And you know, it's funny. There are events, like we've had events here in Maine, and the people that are running the events, at whatever point I hear about them, I say, are you live streaming this event? Because if they're not, I will volunteer to help them. I've done this before. And check my YouTube channel. You'll see several events on there that I've live streamed. I had nothing to do with the event. I didn't organize it. I wasn't part of it. All I'm doing is trying to help these people get their message out. And Darren, you would swear I was asking them for some big favor. I'm telling you, I'm going to help you for free by live streaming your event to the world. And what do I get?
I don't know.
Yeah. So I think so-and-so might. I don't know. I'll ask Bob if Fred on Saturday. Maybe Tom is, you know. So, and I'm like, why would you do this event, which is an important, ostensibly important event with an important message that should be available to everyone?
Yeah.
And you're going to do this in a tiny little facility somewhere in East Bum Rush, Maine, with an audience of 25 people.
Right.
And I'm offering to live stream it to the world, and you're acting like I'm asking you for a favor. Like I'm saying to you, could you loan me $1,000?
Right.
Well, gee, I don't know. You know, budget's a little tight this week. And if I don't follow up, it dies on the vine. You know, we're so screwed, dude, because we can't work together. You know, evil people work together perfectly. They do. They work in perfect sequence. and they because they're a totalitarian organization. They all know the rules. You do what you're told, or you get punished. Okay, those of us that are fighting for freedom and our Constitution and the truth and the law, we cannot work together. We can't do it, except for the three of us, obviously.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's frustrating for me. It's
Well,
really frustrating.
Here's the thing, Dana. I don't know if you're looking. I don't know if you've seen the screen or not. I know you can't type, but right there, Renee P8081. She's saying that she can introduce you to Louis Herms. She's a good friend of ours, Billy. She's toll and roll. I don't know if you've been on here with us or not. She is a great ally. Their stuff is cruising through Washington, and
Awesome.
she looks like she's willing to ally up with you and give you some.
I'm wide open. I mean, I'm totally transparent. I'm easy to find. You don't have to look far to find me. I am not hiding, and I'm always willing to help anybody that needs help. Anyone that is looking for, publicity or, a voice and want to have your voice amplified, I'm your man. I'm happy to do it. So
yeah, perfect. So Billy, if you're cool with it, I will give Dana your information, and he can get in touch with you, and you guys can run off to the sunset together, whatever you guys want to do. Whatever, but I think you guys would be a great pair. And then I'll put this up here. Deidre says people aren't used to having good people left in this world like you, Dana. They probably think you are getting something out of it. This world is a very sad place anymore. Yep, that's it. People do.
They act like I am. Like, that's what I don't get. And
Right.
and if I push, they start getting crabby at me. If I say,
Right.
listen, I'm trying to help you. Okay, when is your event? Where is it being held? I will come there, set up my equipment, live stream for you. I don't know, I'll have to get back to you and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And if I pursue it, if I keep calling and saying, hey, what's up with it? They get pissy and cranky at me. I'm not making any money. I get nothing out of it myself,
Or the one that really
yeah.
is, you're like, oh, I'll do this. Well, like for me, let me do this artwork for you. I'll film this. I'll do this, that, and this, and I'll do some merchandise. I'll make merchandise for you. And they're like, I'm not going to be a sellout on the merchandise. But then you see their event and they're doing exactly what you said, doing the exactly things that you were going to do, selling merchandise, doing everything yours. And you're like, really, dude? Really? And then they'll be on there. They'll be like, well, I really wish we could get someone to do this for us, full time. And you're like, are you fucking with me, dude? I just offered you this 2 weeks ago. But yeah, it kills me.
We had when my friend John Linehan was running his theater. He had actually purchased a movie theater in Ellsworth, and that's where we hosted the the first two Main Freedom rallies. I did the annual Main Freedom rally. I did it 3 times, 3 years in a row. And the first 2 we did at Johnny Linehan's theater. It's called John Linehan's Constitution Hall, and he was hosting a lot of events. Well, there was a guy who came to Maine. His name is Seth Keschel, and he was talking about election fraud, basically a presentation election fraud. So I went down there, and I was prepared to at least record, if not live stream the event. And as I was entering the theater, I was told, no videos allowed. And I said, why did this guy come here? I think he was from California, I don't remember. He's from far away. So he flew here to do an event in Ellsworth, Maine, for 25 people. Why would you do that? Why would you come all the way to Maine and do this event for the tiny little group of people? What do you think that's going to accomplish?
Right.
I don't get it. So no, it didn't get videotaped. There's no record of it. It was an amazing presentation. He talked about voter rolls. He talked about the number of people in each county versus the number of people that voted, which, by the way, for those of you who do not know, there are many counties in Maine where the voter count exceeded 100%. Think about that, what that means. More people voted than are currently living in the county.
Right.
And heavily Democrat. The lines were huge, Democratic attendance skyrocketed in every county. And what did we get for that? We got Janet freaking Mills.
Yeah.
And now these idiots in Augusta, the Democrats in Augusta, and God forgive me, I hate labels. I hate Republican, Democrat. It's a false paradigm that divides us. But sometimes the shoe fits, boys and girls. And in this case, it fits. These Democrats are just killing us. We have the highest taxation. We have poverty. We have abuse. We have obesity. We have an aging population. The taxes are through the roof in Maine, and they're wanting to raise our taxes even more. They were pulling these shady shenanigans. What they would do is they would leave their session without finalizing the budget. Then they would declare an emergency session, reconvene, and vote on the budget. I mean, these people are shameless and despicable.
Mhm.
So anyway, my point is, if we're gonna, get together, we're gonna have this information and make it available to everyone. Why wouldn't we? So it's an uphill battle, and it doesn't have to be. I frequently say we all agree on most things. There's always some yahoo who immediately jumps up and says, no, 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 that's not true. We don't, because someone has to shoot me down. But the truth is, we do. We all want to be secure in our homes. We all want to be lawful and
Thank you very much.
constitutional. Say what, Darren?
I said thank you for that little jab about having a home. That was really nice of you. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you want it to be secure in your home,
Yeah,
right?
that blew
That's
up.
what I'm saying, bro.
That blew
That's
up in
what
my
we
face,
all
on
want.
my wife's face.
So you would think we all would get together and insist that that be done, whether we like each other or not.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't do it. We can't get on the same page. We can't unite. We can't, just agree on. Let's forget all the stuff we disagree on. With I don't think we all needed new license plates here in Maine. That's a ridiculous waste of taxpayer money. But I'm willing to put that issue aside and worry about the current red flag law, which, for those of you who don't know, is a law. It's not really a law, because any law that's repugnant to the Constitution is not a law. However, they did, in fact, pass a law, which is a red flag law, which allows the police supposedly to seize someone's firearms if that person is deemed a threat.
Oh boy, they're trying to do
It's a
that stuff in
flagrant.
town too.
Oh yeah, they passed it. So now your ex-girlfriend who's mad at you can call the police and say, my boyfriend is stalking me and I'm very scared. He threatened to shoot me and I know he has guns. And
And then now they're going to be
police
able
can go to your house and seize your firearms.
wow.
Yeah, that law is here in Virginia too. It's called the boyfriend law.
Yeah, it's
The
insane.
boyfriend law.
And at the end
The
of the day,
boyfriend law.
what person in their right mind thinks that's going to work? Like, the psychopath has decided to murder you. Police show up, take his guns, and he goes, I'm stumped. I guess I'll have to give up, live a peaceful life, and become a law-abiding citizen. These people they're insane, man. That's absolutely insane. So,
The boyfriend law.
government, welcome to the government. Welcome to the unconstitutional laws.
In fact, the boyfriend law in Virginia, it says if you are convicted of domestic violence, you lose your gun rights for like 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah. The boy doesn't like it. I can hear that. He definitely doesn't agree with it.
Smart kid.
Yep. He already knows. Wow. 10 years. Hey, Renee says she has an idea, Dana. I don't know what that idea is, but she's got one. And then check
I'd
this
love
out.
to hear it.
Yes. And then Rochelle Slushy, she's going to have her kid come home. So she's getting her house ready for her kid to come home. So
Good for you.
you, Rochelle.
Good
That's
for you.
awesome. That's good stuff right there. Good for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, Wendy, you have been bitching about sticking together for a long time. We'll get you in here for like the last 5-6 minutes of the show, Wendy. Don't worry. I promise you we'll get you in here, so you'll get in here.
Yep. I feel your pain. And they always have time to shoot me down. When I make proposals, I made a Facebook post recently, and I said, we all need to agree that we're constitutional Americans. Constitution is the supreme law of the land. All laws that are repugnant to it are null and void. My rights are yours. Yours are mine. And the first person that posted on my page said, I'm not. They said, yeah, I'm not. And she goes on some vague thing about, I'm a child of the universe and blah, 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 blah. Well, you may be a child of the flipping universe, lady, but you live in America. If you live in the United States, then you are subject to the laws. And if you don't support the Constitution, it's going to be gone. And we're going to be living in a socialist, communist, totalitarian regime. It's this close to happening. So could you, instead of taking a moment to shoot me down, could you take a moment and say, I agree. Let's all agree on this.
Yeah, they need to. People don't realize how close we are to losing this Constitution.
That's right.
And look, they're slowly. They're. And what people don't realize is that maybe not so much like on the face of, they're going to vote on it, and what do they call that when they do the special Congress or whatever, right? The special constitutional committee or whatever it's called. What is it
The
called?
Constitutional Convention.
Constitutional Convention.
Right. But not just that way. Is now they're not teaching cursive writing in schools anymore. So these kids that are coming up now aren't even going to know what the Constitution says because it's written in cursive. So they're slowly withdrawing the things that we know, that they use, like how are you going to use and apply the Constitution if you can't read the damn thing?
They've been doing that for a while. Yeah,
right.
They don't teach the Constitution in school. They don't teach anything about law. And we are all taken, given this impression that we're not capable of understanding these things. Unless you're a lawyer,
right?
You don't know anything about the law. You can't. It's too complicated.
Right, but they wrote this thing in as plain of English terms as they could possibly make it, so that every person, whether you were a farmer or whether you were a politician, would understand what it said. Because it's not meant. There's no secrets in this. It's very plain. It's very clear. We have the right to bear arms. It doesn't mean just guns. It means any sort of weapon against any sort of enemy that we have against us. It's not just that. If I want to pick up a rock and throw it at a cop, that's my right. I have the right to defend myself with whatever weapon that I feel like I need to have at that moment. People don't get it. And that's what these things meant. And then, of course, they go in and they explain it and they change some things around and this and that and all that. And people don't get it. The original terms, what they say, or what they meant, period. That's what it meant. Very simple. And it's us that through the years have been just slowly manipulating. Well, what does it mean by right to bear arms? Right to bear arms means the right to bear arms. Doesn't mean, that means that whatever I feel like picking up for an instrument of hurting you is what I can pick up and use, period. That's
all
it.
Gun laws are unconstitutional. That's a simple fact, and it makes a lot of people very uncomfortable. But whether it makes you uncomfortable or not is irrelevant. That is the truth.
Right.
The Second Amendment, for those of you who do not know, says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And the first thing people do when they hate guns is want to argue about what a militia is. That's number one. They'll start talking about, the National Guard. Okay. Well, folks, the militia is the civilian population of this nation and includes every man capable of bearing arms. And that doesn't mean just men, folks. Women too. When the founders talked about man and men, they meant everyone. It wasn't a gender-specific reference, meaning women don't get to bear arms. And believe me, I know some badass women that are packing, and you do not want to mess with them. And that was why they wrote it. It means we all have the right to arm ourselves at our discretion. No one has any right to tell you you can't. And every single law that says you're not allowed is unconstitutional. That's the truth.
Oh, Lord.
I saw a post. It was actually kind of funny. It was a cursive saying, right? And it says, this is how we're going to send code because this new generation doesn't know how to read cursive. I said, oh, God.
Look who we got
So
here.
true.
Hey there.
Hey, Kim, how are you?
Good. How are you is the question.
Oh, I'm hanging in. I'm doing what I can do with the tools God gave me.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, which are
Well
very
said.
minimal right now, but we'll get back. Can't knock us down.
Yeah.
Amen.
So what's going on with you?
Oh, not much. Just trying to keep the fort down here in San Antonio.
Yeah, you guys are busy down there, aren't you?
Yeah, we're always busy down here, I think. Especially, I live real close to Lackland, so the transport jets go in and out of there. So
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of an all-night circus, shall we say.
Yeah, I would imagine right now they're busy as sin, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm telling you. All we can do is pray.
Yeah.
God has a hand in all this stuff going on.
Are those big ass planes that are bigger than a building?
Yes.
5 galaxies.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know that they can hover in midair, right?
No.
C5
Is
Galaxy.
that supposed to make me feel good?
No, I'm telling you. Listen.
They just look like they're not moving, Tiff, because they're so
No.
large.
Because we got an Air Force base like 25 miles from me, right? I'd never seen a plane that big. I'm driving. This thing is so low to the ground. It was hovering because it was waiting to land. Now, this was a couple years ago, so I can't get in trouble. I was doing 110 to get the hell out of the way. I said, if this thing comes down, it's taking out half the city.
That is hilarious.
I
Well,
told
yeah,
my husband,
last
I
night.
said, oh my God. So then we
Yeah,
were over there together. I saw another one and I'm smacking his arm. I'm like, hurry up, let's go.
Well, I'm going to tell you, last night there was a holding pattern for all of them. Yep, there were so many.
Oh, wow.
I would have had a whole heart attack. I'm telling you right now, because those planes are creepy.
Well, yeah, that's how they get our tanks and all that kind of stuff over there. I guess some airplanes. I don't know what all they're taking them.
Yeah, that's C5 Galaxies. That's what
Oh, is
they
that what it is? Yeah. That's some serious stuff, I tell you.
Now they
I've never seen a plane that big. I'm telling you, I've never seen a plane that big, and that shit scared me.
It's 400. It's 420 tons.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That weighs more than a cruise ship.
Yeah,
they're bigger than a cruise ship.
Yeah, they're huge, y'all. They're huge. And then the other, I don't know if y'all know, but San Antonio is considered military city USA. And the other day, I guess it was last week, I was showing some property.
All the Indians in uniform running around, Kim. Woo!
And well, I was showing some property, and it was over by Randolph Air Force Base, and I don't know a lot about planes and stuff like that, but that's where they train a lot of the Top Gun pilots.
Oh, wow.
And man, they were like, and I've never seen it. And I've been here, gosh, since 2007, a long time. But they were doing all kinds of maneuvers, like where they would tumble in the sky. And I mean, there were a bunch of them practicing up there. And I was like, I know where they're going.
Yeah. To
Yeah.
war.
And and it's so funny. People, when I have clients that are looking at properties like that, they're like, wow. I go, yep, that's the sound of freedom.
Yeah. That's the sound of being late for work, one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other. But so yeah.
Yeah, these super galaxies are crazy.
Yeah. So y'all been saving some kiddos?
Tiff is. She had a couple home yesterday, right, Tiff?
They're coming home, one in May and one in June.
Congratulations. Keep up the good fight.
Oh, well, I didn't do it alone. You can believe that. I just know the right people to get in touch with. And I just stay in the background and help, because I don't really want to take the credit for it, because all I did was get them in touch and get the information to them. But 2 more coming home. That's all that matters.
Nice work.
Yep. Absolutely. Praise God.
Everyone counts. Every one of them.
Yep.
Is a victory.
Every single one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can report to y'all that my daughter is safe.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And I'm super thankful for that. All this Epstein stuff has brought up a lot of old wounds in me. And which I knew it, but I didn't believe it, I don't know how else I can say that. I knew back in the day I was super close to something, but I didn't know what it was. And it's a lot of confirmation, about things that were said to me and things I was close to and why I couldn't seem to be able to free them for such a long time. But
wow.
I think all these victims, and there's so many of them, and this thing is so huge. And of course, nothing's happening to anybody, as I might add, that's involved in it. And that I think we really need to really pray for the victims and their families, because this is it's huge. And that's why it's so hard for us to get other kids home, because they have this just corrupt system that's full of people who abuse children.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they think it's okay. You know, judges, politicians, caseworkers, you know, and the list goes on. And then they want to take people's kids because they drink too much coffee. I mean, come on.
Oh, tell Dana about that one, Tiff.
So yesterday, and one of the kids that is coming home in May, the caseworkers, they have nothing on her. Okay. So I took offense to this because everybody that knows me knows my favorite drink is coffee.
A lot of us like coffee. Yeah.
Right? They said that her drinking coffee all day is equivalent to being on meth.
Oh, Lord.
Her lawyer said that makes absolutely no sense.
Right?
She's passed all her drug tests. This child is coming home. The guardian ad litem was like, what? The guardian is on her side now. So
Thank God.
when they said that, I took offense to that.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Coffee is equivalent to meth? Really?
That is
Can we
crazy.
do better than that, please?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you know, the whole thing is, it's funny, but it's tragic.
Absolutely.
You know, this child's
you
been
know-
taken from her home that nurtures her, loves her, cares for her, does all the things, and that's who
Yeah.
she likes, knows, and trusts. You know, it's her family, and they've taken her and they've traumatized her, and you can't undo that stuff.
It's true.
No, you can't.
Oh, and
I'm
I
waiting for
forgot.
accountability. I want to see the people, whoever levies this insane accusation, should immediately be terminated. Your job is over. That's it. You're going to go pump gas.
No money.
Well, there is a case here in Winchester. And this couple is suing everybody. Do you hear me? I mean,
Good.
both sheriff's departments, all the judges,
Good.
the CPS lawyers, all the CPS workers, the school, the medical people, doctors, the hospital. I sent the case to Darren. They're suing everybody here.
Oh, man, I'd love to interview them.
Good.
Everybody.
That's what needs to happen in every one of these cases.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's up to us, right, Dana, to do something about it now. They've put the ball in the court. Now you need to take that extra step and enforce these things, because if we don't, they continue to get away with it.
Absolutely.
Exactly right.
You know, because
And that's why they're so eager to use threats and coercion, because they do not want this to be public, because the weight of public opinion immediately is going to be against these people. And Darren, you and I have talked about this before, how there's this unspoken supposition that if CPS is involved in your life, it's because you're probably doing something wrong. And most people that are not familiar with this issue really believe that CPS is what they say, Child Protective Services. They are taking care of these people. A kind social worker comes and takes the child to a loving foster home where they are safe and protected.
Bullshit.
And they don't understand what's really happening because they've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with that a little bit, respectfully. 30 years ago, when this came into my life, I would say that was very, very, very true. I think the general public is starting to gain knowledge about this. I don't think
I hope so.
I don't think it surprises people anymore. It's just that they don't want to mess with it because it hasn't affected them yet. And I think there's a huge difference there, because 30 years ago, it seems like a lifetime ago, and people really did think I was crazy. And CPS in the beginning was not involved in my case. And then they became involved, and it's the only thing that I can tell you that has changed in those 30 years is that more people are aware. I mean, it's kind of like and I hate to go back to this, but the Epstein files, and there are more organizations that are doing the same things. Ultimately, so many CPS caseworkers, so many um, officers of the law, so many politicians, so many, and you can just keep naming them, are involved in trafficking children, trafficking women, trafficking boys. I mean, it's huge. You know, when you got an Arizona judge that's got tunnels going into her garage, and they're backing up vans and buses and hauling people out of there, that is, and she gets arrested because she was in charge of prosecuting crimes against traffickers. That's the root of the problem. How many more locations do we think have that? How many of these, I can't remember, is it 350,000, 400,000 children that are missing that nobody
Yeah.
seems to be able to find?
Yeah.
I mean, how many of those children have gone into that system? Probably the vast majority of them.
Right.
And I mean, at the end of the day, this is where all of this crap leads to.
Mm-hmm. CPS is the biggest provider of children in the human trafficking field.
Yes.
You know,
And so I think, you know, to absolutely get these children home, but I think on a larger scale, we have got to attack that as the human race. You know what I mean? It's not
Agree.
just in our country, it's everywhere. And I think more than anything, there's no good leader in that space. You know?
And the one that was in that space is gone. Nancy Schaefer.
Yeah. Exactly. But I mean, that's just my 2 cents for today.
We really need to get a leader. How do we get a good leader?
Well, I hope you're right about more people being aware, because I mean that's how we win.
Right, but how do we get a good leader in this space? Everybody knows stealing kids is wrong. I mean, it shouldn't be this difficult to get a good person to lead this thing. Stealing kids is wrong. Raping kids is wrong.
It's got to
Molesting
find.
kids is wrong. All of this stuff is wrong. It should be very simple, just us as human beings. I mean, this is a tough thing.
I think as humans, honestly, where someone gets the passion behind it, like we all have, is because it's affected us. And
Right.
so it's got to be someone who unfortunately has been affected by it. And I think you see people trying to do that. And for instance, Faye Yeager, who started the Children of the Underground, she was a huge leader in the space, and everyone was against her because she's hiding these children. Well, what the hell else are you supposed to do when the government won't listen?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, honestly, like.
Well, what the hell are you supposed to do when the government's the one that's taking them?
Exactly. Right. Exactly. And so, I mean, it's difficult, and we know they eliminate people who, you know, get too far into stuff and protect and go out on a grand scale and try to gather these people up. And I think the other side of it is, and I was talking to Tiff about this earlier, you know, you take somebody's children, and the vast majority of people are going to go crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's against biology. You know?
Especially when you feel so helpless.
Correct.
Like you feel like there's nothing you can do.
Because there really isn't.
Right.
Well, I mean, mostly yes, and especially when you feel alone, you're isolated. The only way you can do this, as far as people know, is to hire a very expensive lawyer. These lawyers charge stupid amounts of money, and they don't even get anything done most of the time. And they'll usually just tell you, oh, well, you know, there's really not much you can do. We just play their game and hope that they graciously decide to give you back your kids.
Well, and also, and I talked to Tiff about this today, when attorneys really get involved in this movement, then the government comes after them. They try to disbar them. They fine them. They, you know, issue sanctions against them. And there was an attorney back in the day by the name of Richard Ducote. I do not know if he's still alive or not, but he did help a lot of women. And I mean, he got sanctioned and lost his bar license because they didn't want him practicing because he knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, so it's like they tie your hands behind your back.
Yep.
You know, and you keep the only people I think who can really keep fighting are those, and I think it's few that can keep their heads about them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it's tragic and it makes you go, nuts. I mean, you may go through life and have like a genetic tendency, and forgive me if I'm speaking about this incorrectly, but let's say that you might have a genetic tendency to be bipolar and you live a great life. Of course, there are ups and downs, but something this major does not happen to you. So that's never triggered and you never become bipolar
Right.
or schizophrenic. Or, I mean, there's so many things. But when something this major happens to people, if they have any tendency at all for mental illness, it's coming and it's coming down the train track really fast.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so then the way our legal system is set up, the only person that can represent them is them, besides an attorney. Well, attorney doesn't want to get involved because they seem off their rocker, which they are at that point. And, I can't step in and help them because the courts don't allow it. So I think it's such a dichotomy that's been created.
Absolutely.
Not to
And
mention it funds our country. I mean, you're not going to tell me that if you take down CPS, there are they talk about $84 billion. I beg to differ. This is billions and billions and billions of dollars more than that, because we don't know about the nurses that are getting $1,000 to call up CPS and tell them that there's a woman in here with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby that, needs a mom that's going to now has a drug problem that doesn't have the drugs. But as long as that baby gets taken, that's all that matters. We're not talking about the doctors that open up their offices to CPS illegally. In Maine alone, the CPS up here has a $3 million open check for any doctor's office, for a donation to any doctor's office that they feel fit, that fits their needs and their mold. $3 million. I don't know where you're from. That's called a bribe where I'm from.
yeah,
And I'm from Maine. So go figure. But they have a $3 million open check. You're not going to find people talking about that. Where's that $3 million check go to? What doctor? The one that's going to say that these mothers are unfit, or the ones that say these kids are on drugs, or whatever they're going to say? That's where that $3 million went. So these are dollars that we don't even account for. If you take CPS down and abolish it, there's going to be so many places that are out of business that you didn't even realize. Rental properties, doctor's offices, counseling places, car rental places. I mean, you got to think of the mass amount of people that are dependent on the trafficking of our children in this country. And people don't think of it like that. They just think about, Title IV. It's much bigger than Title IV. This thing goes way through the roof. Airplane tickets, airplanes themselves. All of this stuff is involved in child trafficking coming from our government, and they're not thinking of it that way. Snacks, school lunches, all of this stuff, all of this is part of it. And if you abolish the system, you're pretty much going to break the economy of the United States, no doubt.
well, and I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more. And don't forget the little caseworker who makes barely anything, and every time she picks up a kid, they pay her $2,500 per kid.
Right.
That's
Right.
a lot of money
Mm-hmm.
to that caseworker. That's a lot of money to me.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when they keep your kid on the 31st day, they get 150 grand from the federal government. I mean, it just
Right.
it's following the money,
Yeah.
Yep.
But what flabbergasts me, I think, and I
Good work.
really didn't think I could get more flabbergasted after all I've seen, is that, wow, we have all these evidence on all these people now. Nobody's getting arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is with that, right?
Yep. That's where I'm
Yep.
at.
Yep. I mean,
But if it was any of us, we would be under the jail right now.
Yep.
amen. Yep.
Yeah.
It's so true. And, I think that it's just such a massive, massive problem. And now they've got us looking at this war over in Iran so that we don't look at what we know about them.
Well, if it's on the good side of things, they say there is these people that still believe that this is a freedom headhunt and all that. And what I've heard is, on the tinfoil hat side of things, is that the reason that we are in Iran is because in Iran is the hub of the cabal, And that's what's going on there. And that's like where the money and all of that's stored. And also that's there is the third Epstein tape that they need to have so that they can go ahead and go ahead with these trials against the presidents and all of this stuff. That's through the little, the tinfoil hat wearing communities, which I don't think are tinfoil hats, because this stuff, this much similarities and all of this can't necessarily be false. But, that's what they're saying about the war in Iran, is that Trump brought this war to them because this is where the cabal is. This is where all of this whole, New World Order and Rothschild and all this shit is there, and we're taking that out. So I don't know.
Well, I hope and pray that's the truth. And forgive me, but I just have trouble trusting the government at all.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more.
I mean, I hope and pray that's what it is. I'm not confident in that.
Yep. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. And honestly, there's really nothing we can do about all that. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's
Right.
true. We can do very powerful things like pray, but physically doing something about it is very difficult. But I think, if we can figure it out, or maybe I should say with God's help, we will figure it out, is taking this massive machine down that's doing this to our children.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a machine. There are so many people involved. And I remember a senator told me, he said, you would be flabbergasted at how big the web is that they've woven.
There are so many people in here that people don't even know that they're a part of this thing. Like, they don't even understand that they are a part of it. Like that's the thing here, down to restaurant workers or people that provide Meals on Wheels or whatever, like this is the thing. This thing is so intertwined into our society. I mean, that's just, they don't even see it. I mean, look at, there's 7 million families a year affected by CPS on the low side. Just the people that have at least gotten, knocked on their door and said, hey, this is CPS. Okay, we're not coming here, or whatever. 7 million families a year. And that doesn't stop per year. That's every year. CPS is a lose it or lose it budget. They're use it or lose it budget stuff. So, and I had this conversation with someone the other day. We talked about, because they were bitching about Connie Reguli, saying, oh, well, she was part of the ASPA indication, all of this stuff. Well, here's the thing. You have to remember, at the time that Connie Reguli signed on for the ASPA deal, at that point in time, there's 800,000, 900,000 kids that were sitting in foster care for year upon year upon year. So they weren't getting out of the system. They were going to these group homes. They were being mistreated. There was no hurrying to get these kids homes. So they came up with this thing to say, all right, well, caseworkers, if you can get these kids adopted, put them in a forever home, then we'll give you a bonus. That was a great idea for that time to shrink this thing. What didn't happen was they didn't take these bonuses away. They kept them there. So now that becomes a main line for all of these workers to get money through stealing kids. And that's what's happening. So that's the problem. So you can't shit on Connie for signing a bill or supporting a bill at the time was absolutely necessary to get these kids out of these institutions, to get them into a home. You can just shit on them for saying, why didn't you redact that once that happened, that's a successful amount of kids. There should be no sizable amounts of kids. No, there shouldn't be any kids in our system. They should have taken that bonus away and they didn't. And now this is what we're stuck with.
Yeah, and I mean, just like my personal case, and I need help with it, guys, if you know anybody, because I'm just exhausted from all of this. But, with my little guy, I was told in court he was to be returned to me that day immediately, and they kept him for another 24 hours because that was the 31st day. Well, the caseworker that I ended up with, who was, believe it or not, was a great caseworker, and that's a hard thing to say about any of them. And he said to me, he goes, the last day he came to see me before the adoption took place, he said, don't you forget that they didn't give him back to you immediately like the judge ordered. And he said, that's the scuttlebutt at CPS because they're terrified you're going to sue them.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Hey, you guys, I got a great... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So if anyone can step up and help with that, I'm in Texas. I would really appreciate it. Or if anyone comes across anyone,
Have you reached out to Garza?
Pardon?
Have you reached out to Garza?
No, I don't have that information.
Well, I can get you that information. I can get
Okay.
you. I think I can get you a direct link to him because he's making waves everywhere.
Okay, good.
I'm sure you can do that. I promised Wendy that I would bring her in here for a few minutes to give us some updates. So let's bring Wendy. Wendy, I'm going to put the link in the chat. So go ahead and click on that, and then you can pop in because I did promise you. And Rochelle, I'm reading everything that you're writing, and it is absolutely terrible what they've done to you. Maybe you should come on for a show, and especially now that your kids are coming home, maybe you should come on and explain to everybody what you went through and what they did and all of that, because you have quite a story. It looks like. But Wendy, here's your link. So hop on in here. Dana, being on the outside, let me ask you this question. Kim, I'm muting you for just a second. Dana, so you didn't have much to do with CPS prior in your life, right? So
Nope.
if I would have never made contact with you, would you have been as involved and boisterous about CPS as you are now?
Well, the straight answer to that would be no, but I was aware of this because a few years ago, many years ago, I'm dating myself a little bit. When I started the whole angry citizen movement, I figured the fraud, waste, and corruption was, I don't want to say minimal, but certainly I had no idea it was this bad. It's like, you look at a car, you see a little rust spot on it here or there, and you're like, oh, geez, this car's got a little bit of rust. And, you poke it and the entire side of the car just crumbles right off. And you realize that the entire vehicle from one end to the other is just riddled with rust. And that's kind of what I encountered. And it just one thing led to another. I went down the rabbit hole because I was looking at fraud, waste, and corruption in the government. But I kept bumping into this issue. And this was before I ever met you. And when I met you, you were the first person that I met who I could say, this guy has had this horrendous thing perpetrated on him, and now I know this guy personally. And your passion and dedication just drew me in, and I was like, because I've been since day one. If you have a noble cause, a just cause, I will help you. I will jump in and I will help you, and I will do anything I can to provide you with help. Because I've said many times, your rights are mine and mine are yours. If it can happen to you, it can happen to me. Even if I didn't like you, I would still help you, because if it can happen to your child, it can happen to my child. And I am not going to sit by and let that happen. So, but no, before I met you, I wasn't aware of the depth and breadth of it. It's a 1,000 times worse than I knew.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I used to think that if you were a parent that had lost your kid to CPS, I thought that you were a piece of shit and you deserved it. That's what I really depended on our government as to be the one that would, this is USA, baby. They don't get this shit wrong. There's no way that this is going on. Had my kid not been kidnapped, then maybe I wouldn't even be in this fight right now. I don't know. Because I didn't believe this to even be true. There's no way that this country, there could be something like this going on in this country. And I think
I was aware. I was aware. I knew that it happened. I knew that there were instances of it happening. It's just like I said, if on a scale of 1 to 10 of it being really bad, I thought it was, a 2 or a 3. Still a problem. Every problem is a problem, no matter how small it is. It's still a problem. So I was aware that there were people who were having their children kidnapped by CPS that didn't really deserve that, but I had no idea it was this bad. Just
right.
Yeah, 1,000
I didn't
times
either.
worse.
I thought you were one of the first people that I talked to, other than Vincent Davis, because I talked to Rick, then he sent me to you. You were one of the first people when I got into this stuff that I was talking to about this, and you didn't have much knowledge in it, but I think we were both under the guise of like, this is crazy. This will be over quick because this can't be going on in this America like this.
Yes.
Like, there's no way that that, you know, like I really did. I thought that I'd be able to call up the news would get involved. You know, this would be, and on me and my wife were like, you know what, let's just take this weekend, you know, and relax and just have a vacation weekend. You know, like we'll just, you know, instead of being upset about it, because this will be over on Monday. You know, like there's no way that this thing will go on the way that it's going on. And now we're 5 years later. You know, like, so I never ever would have thought that it was going to be like this, but it was. And then one of the other first people I spoke to was Wendy, which here's Wendy right here. Wendy, you got a couple minutes? Spill your guts. Or no, don't. Wendy, come back. Wendy, all right. You got a couple minutes, so spill your guts, dear. You're good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
We can.
Okay, so I'm going to do paralegal. I'm going into law school in the fall for our
Yeah.
parents. I'm going to do paralegal. And I had some trouble with, I live in Bowling Green now, and I had some problems. They're so corrupt out there with the sheriff's department. And I dug into the law a little bit, and there is what, and not a lot of people know about this. It's called a surety bond,
Yes.
SURETY bond. So instead of going and filing a report on that police officer, which we know we're not going to get our way, it takes it directly to the state auditor if they don't cooperate. So what you do is you call your county auditor's office. You ask for the surety bond, the name of the surety bond on the deputy. Make sure, if you can, you have that deputy's badge number. Now, the auditor will try to throw you to the clerk of courts. The clerk of courts can only give you what's called an appointment. That is where the sergeant swore the deputy in. But they have to have that surety bond on that badge. And then when you do that, you record the conversation as evidence. You tell them they have 24 hours to email the surety bond to you, which now is a lawful form of a paper trail. So if they don't do that, and let them know that you are recording it, and give them the law number to be able to get that surety bond, and I have that if you need it. And I'm real scratchy today, guys. Bear with me. And let them know that if they don't give it to you, that you're going to report it to the state auditor. Now, I'm in the state auditor phase because I just got the email back today from the auditor's office stating that they cannot provide me with that information. And she emailed it to me a couple minutes before they closed because she knew I was going to call her and nail her out.
Yep.
So tomorrow, I'm going to request, if there is no surety bond in that county auditor's office, as the police officer or sheriff's superior, that police officer is to immediately be removed from his duties because he is unable to perform them without that surety bond.
You know, Wendy, you're lucky right now because we got Dana here. And Dana, you have a little bit of knowledge in this surety bond area.
Yes, because I'm still learning about it.
Yeah, I'm still learning about it too. So I mean, I can't really speak with authority on it, but I understand that it's on my giant list of things I'm trying to learn more about. But I understand that this is an effective course of action, and I have spoken to people in other states who have actually gotten results with this. You know, what you're experiencing in terms of the pushback is extremely common. In fact, you can bank on it. Okay, and you know you're on the right track when they are very uncooperative. If they're just willingly doing whatever you want, then you're going the wrong way. Okay, because as soon as they dig in their heels and say, "Oh no, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that," you know you're making progress. But I do understand that the surety bond is an effective method to pursue in terms of legal remedies. And from everything you've said, I think you're going in the right direction with it. So now
I have to figure out, after I contact the state auditor if I get turned down there. Now I'm trying to investigate where do I go from there. But once you get that surety bond, you take it to your county commissioner's office and you request a form to report on that police officer's surety bond. You take that form, you fill that form out, you mail that form in to that surety bond company. They'll investigate it. If any constitutional right was not followed during the procedure, the nice thing about it, the surety bond company will compensate you.
Wow.
Hey, Wendy.
Yes.
I'm curious. So, what did this police officer actually do that you could get the surety bond?
I'm having an issue. My camper caught on fire and my slide leaked and from the hard wintering. Everybody knows I've been doing this for 6 years. I keep my camper up.
Uh
And
huh.
it just happened to leak because of all the snow on the weight on the slide. Well, the landlord tried to tell me he was going to come shut off my water and my electric and that my camper had to be moved. So, but the fire was contained. It was only what happened was is I had an aide come in to help me out and my butane lighter because my automatic click don't work on my oven or my stove and my oven too, so you have to light it by hand and I kept one of them little cheap lighters by it.
Right.
Well, she dropped it in underneath the plate where the propane uh where you on the propane where you set the pan on because I have
Right.
three of them.
Uh
Well,
huh.
I used the oven and didn't know it was there, and the butane exploded and lit the whole that underneath that whole plate on fire. Now there's electrical in there, there's
Oh my God.
propane in there. So, but I keep a fire extinguisher right next to the stove in the
Hmm.
camper. You always do. So
Right.
I was able to get it out. Well, then he started. And then when, because of the situation, I had to go out. The Red Cross got me out until I could repair it. He went in my camper and moved my camper and is trying to claim it abandoned to try to get
Wow.
my camper.
And he's an officer?
No, the landlord did
The
that.
landlord, she said, did that.
Unlawful.
Okay.
Then brought a guy in saying, "Oh, well, this guy just come in the campground and he was wondering if I had any old campers that he could uh, remodel and restore and update." And I'm thinking to myself, I've been doing this 6 years, and I know that according to the health department, you are only allowed to bring in a certain year of camper into these campgrounds. So I've never known of somebody just to come in and ask, "Do you have a camper sitting around so I can, upgrade it and flip it?" I knew better. But
Right.
see,
Well, that's
they think just because,
convenient.
right, just because I sat in a wheelchair that I'm mentally retarded too
Right.
and gullible. Let this gentleman go in my camper and inspect my camper with no certified credentials, and then they hid that man from me. Well, I got together all my money because I didn't pay rent because of it, but I paid on the electric. I took that money, I hired me an attorney. He told me to file a theft report with the Wood County Sheriff's Department. I did that. The
Good.
sheriff went to the owner, and because the owner only showed him text messages on my side and not his side, the sheriff called me later on again, right before he got off duty, and told me he canceled the report, but I still have the report number, and he will not take the report. He was not allowed to do that. It's against the law. That's biased decision and it's impeding on a investigation. And this has all been filed in court. Then he tried to tell me it was a civil matter. No, it's not.
Wow.
No,
And
it's
this
definitely
landlord's been
criminal.
doing this to me ever since I moved in. When I moved in there, I had a boyfriend at the time and I didn't get no shit. But then
Right.
when I boyfriend wasn't coming around, I'm in the hospital laying in there with MRSA going septis this past year. I've got a new aide in my camper. I decided to do a living. She don't know the camper, but she was trying to take care of everything while I was gone. I had my service dog, my cat was in the house. He came screaming at her because she didn't know that the speakers were still on outside of the camper, but it wasn't during quiet time. Then they called me because the squad had to come pick me up, so they knew I was in the hospital. Why I'm there, this landlord is screaming at me. Now I have a verbal contract for the winter all year round, all year with him, screaming at me. I need to get out. The cat got out. It's against their rules, this and that. And we all know a landlord can't evict you for an animal escape. So I had to sign out of the hospital, still full of sepsis, AMA, to get home. And then while I'm laying in my bed, my aide got pissed. She left. She quit. I'm laying there sick. And I told the hospital what was going on. They were real great. They gave me like all the meds that I needed to take, even though I was supposed to be still hooked up to the IV because I had to get home. The landlord called the sheriff, and this is when I first got there, called the sheriff to try to remove me out of my camper
Holy
without any
crap.
warrant or eviction. You know what I know what I told that? You know what I told that sheriff? I
What?
said, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I said, according to Ohio law, you come in here without a warrant or a court order, you're fair game, motherfucker. And
Yeah,
believe me,
trespassing.
Yep.
it's a very small camper and I have a lot of breakable things. So I said, you go ahead and you pop that door open. I said, you better get your supervisor out here. Well, they called the supervisor out 5 minutes later after he got there. The sheriff had to come to my door and apologize to me.
Very good.
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 Wendy, I'm going to tell you something. You should check out Toll and Roll's website. Do you know Billy and them?
I know so many people, Darren. I can't even remember who I know.
Remember this. remember Toll and Roll. Check out theirs because that's their thing. That's where they specialize. They don't do individual cases, but they have a lot of knowledge in this area. She's the one actually that said that she won back in 2012. She won a bond claim in 2012. So I don't know. Maybe you should look out to them, and maybe they've got some information for you to help you out with that situation. Like I said, they don't typically do individual cases, but I'm sure that Billy's a good person and she can lead you in a direction. I'm sure that
And
you
just-
might need to go and help you out in that way.
And just
Right.
remember, whenever you go up against them, you're always just setting up to appeal something in the law.
That's
Don't
right.
Well,
try
see,
to
I found out that when you go into a courthouse, if you know that little gate you got to step through to sit at the table in front of the judge with the microphone,
The
Yeah.
threshold, yeah.
when you step through that gate, you are under corporate law. If you don't go through that gate and you plead your case behind that gate, you're under a living person law.
Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff that goes on where they break the courtrooms down and a lot of different
Yeah.
software deals and this and that and the other. The bottom line is this: just stay the hell out of there, period.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Wendy,
I do want to I've been looking up that law. Tell them about that quash law, Darren.
yeah, go ahead, lay it out.
I don't know very much of it. I know that it's a way to get it dismissed, but I haven't really pushed into how.
Yeah, I know about motions to quash a little bit, but not a lot. I know a lot of people use them. I know that it's different standards of getting things like suppressed or subdued or overturned. I'm not exactly sure how you use it in its full usage, but they are powerful if you can get them right. They're a swift way to close a case. I know that. I just don't know.
Breaking into my
I
place.
think that a lot of it has to do with like hearsay rules, rumors, and things like that can be quashed. I know that. So I don't know. Maybe that's a way to look at this stuff when you are dealing with our cases in CPS. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe that's how you fight the hearsay, is using the quash. Maybe.
He works out of McAllister's bar.
CPS tried. I request our subpoena their records. They tried that quash bullshit. This is what I said. I said, excuse me, I'm representing myself. I need those records. She said, hand them over. What she told CPS.
Yeah.
See, in Ohio, in my county, they won't give them to me without a court order. And the problem is every judge in that town is biased and cannot legally take any of my cases. I
So
have
then
to
why don't you file a
change of venue.
Change your
correct?
venue.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I got to do. But I was just getting ready to get all that done, and then my camper burns. So now I'm trying to
Tis
get
the
all that
season,
situated.
apparently.
Huh?
So tis the season, apparently,
Tis the
Right.
season. Tis
Yeah.
something.
for houses to burn.
I know that was horrible when you told me that. Now, I do know that one of our other advocates, Jennifer Douglas, she's also known as Star,
Mhm.
she married a police officer that had connections in the Senate and Congress over there, and they tried to burn her out of her apartment too.
Wow. Holy crap.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, the enemy is ruthless. That's the problem. They are utterly ruthless. People that do things like traffic children, there is nothing they won't do. Literally nothing.
Right?
there is though. We need to form some kind of militia
Sure.
for like constitutional law, and I'm telling you, the Hells Angels, the Iron Coffins, are so willing to help because they don't care about the law.
Yeah.
But we have to get enough parents involved for them to add themselves into it.
Well,
And
that's
that is what
Yep.
I think if we was to do that, because Trump gave it back to the people in 2017. We're under constitutional law, and not a lot of people know that. I even have the executive order number, not on me, it's in the camper, but I have the executive order number of the day that Trump put that into law. We are under constitutional law right now. He gave it back to the people. The problem is not a lot of people know about it, or do they believe it because they drank too much of the strawberry Kool-Aid that they get
true.
fed on the TV.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Well, you know what? All we can do is educate everybody, right? But
Yep.
everybody,
Right.
we are way past our time. So thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Kim. We love
Thank
you guys
you.
so much.
Love y'all.
Dana, we're so happy that you came back, and you'll be
Thanks,
back.
bro.
And everybody, make sure to search Angry Citizen. Where can they find your stuff? And, Dana, where can they find
YouTube. You look for The Angry Citizen on YouTube. You will find me.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for
Love
letting me
y'all.
Thank you, Wendy, so much.
Keep fighting the good fight.
That's right.
Love you guys. Bye.
So Darren, I got something to say before we end.
Okay.
So after our show last night, I want to thank everybody. Believe me, my phone was going off for the support for me and Darren and Tiff and the Punisher. I want to thank you all for the support that you gave us, and we appreciate it, and we love you guys.
We do. And don't forget
Well said.
tomorrow night, 8:00, Lewis Ewing, Jessica Saxton, going to debate right here with Tiff and I. And it appears that we might have a guest side host with us. And should I say who it is, or should I wait?
Go ahead.
Vincent Davis is supposed to join us for this, guys. So this should be a hell of a thing that goes through. Tomorrow night, 8:00, we'll be here. All of you should too. Have a good night, everybody.
Thoughts don't care, ghosts in my head, thoughts that tear. 941-239, branded on my file before I was 5 years clear. They all said the same shit. Better not tell, kid, it'll get way worse in here. Even the real kids whisper sending threats while their parents steer. Born in a folder, no crib, just a case number and a hearing date. Pills crushed in my juice, respiratory waves turning toddlers into a court case. F943 anxiety, F90 poison, separation ink they used to label me. Now those same codes turned into calibers, letters load the AR-15. 5156 for the panic attacks, not for the snakes, 223 for the mess they made. Leave me alone. Mrs. Perfect Christian Home, still feel your husband's hands on my neck. Leave me alone, night shift worker, keys rattling while you're proud the heart. Leave me alone, caseworker with the crocodile tears. You got paid while I starved through it all. Starved through it all. We the invisibles, aged out the system. No feelings left, just facts and mathematics. Hypervigilant, heart rate, flat rifle fluent, pistol fully automatic. Grown now, pulling up, packing. Only lesson we kept is right from wrong. Now wrong, getting corrected. 30-round hymns in a real dark song. You built a monster, set in trauma, now the monster got drums and a mask. Every face got a name got an address, every address getting dead. Ever want fresh meat? Still crying for mama, think reunification real. Level 2, bounce like trash, learning roles in every house they make you feel. Level 3, chameleon bag, never unpacked, visible just enough to eat. Level gray, master read a lie in the blink, route around rules in the street. Level 5, invisible state on ghost file, too thick for any worker to read. Sleeping fragments, exits mapped, made it out so low they know you a different breed. We the invisibles, aged out the system, no feelings left, just facts and mathematics. Hypervigilant, heart rate flat, rifle fluent, pistol fully automatic. Grown now, pulling up, packing. Only lesson we kept is right from wrong. Now wrong, getting corrected. 30-round hymns in a real dark song. F94 through a 5 pop 6. F93 to a full auto switch. F94 to reactive. That's why the AR twitch. 9 millis for the snakes that smile in your face. 223s for the nights they said this hurts me more. While they finish the chase. Every code they wrote, every caliber, every lie became around. Every better not tell turned into a reason. We outside right now. Seen kids get walked out the back at 3 a.m. Staff pockets fat, no sound. One phone call, file closed, another invisible. Never found. They break, we don't lock forever or read the barrel in despair. But the ones who survive remember every smell, every room, every stare. Thoughts are gone, thoughts aren't care. Ghost in my head, thoughts that tear. We the invisible, aged out, fully loaded. No fear, strapped heavy, heart on zero. Just a pulse and a plan. Right from wrong is all we know. And wrong finna meet the whole fam. Pulling up quiet, windows down. 30-round lullaby. Invoice for every tear. Every touch, every read, better not tell. This is the correction. Pred's gone dead. 2, 2, 3, good night.
We know it's all about the money, we know they lie, we know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?